You worked hard today. You also worked hard yesterday. You worked hard last month, last quarter, last year. So why does your life look almost identical to 12 months ago? Same salary range, same body, same savings account balance, give or take a few $100s. Same routines disguised as progress. Here's the uncomfortable math. If you improved just 1% every single day for 1 year, you'd end 37 times better, not 365%, 37 times. That's exponential compounding applied to behavior. But you didn't get 37 times better. Nobody told you why. The problem isn't your effort. It's that effort without architecture is just noise. You are spending willpower like a day trader, burning capital on random moves with no portfolio strategy. James Clear wrote Atomic Habits not as a motivation book. It's an engineering manual. It treats your daily behavior as a system to be designed, not a battle to be won. This book solves one precise problem: why intelligent, ambitious people stay stuck despite knowing exactly what they should do. Like and save this video. The concepts here are worth revisiting when you feel stuck. Most people believe success comes from setting better goals, bigger goals, bolder goals. Write them on your mirror. Visualize them. Scream them into existence. This book proves that goals are nearly irrelevant. Think about that for a second. Every Olympic sprinter in the 100-meter final has the same goal: win gold. Every startup founder has the same goal: build something massive. Goals don't differentiate winners from losers. Systems do. Here's the analogy that will rewire how you think about this. Most people live their lives as goal chasers. A goal chaser picks a destination, sprints toward it with raw willpower, arrives exhausted, and then has no idea what to do next. They lose weight for the wedding. They save money for the vacation. They study for the exam. The moment the goal is achieved or abandoned, the behavior collapses. There's no infrastructure. There's no residual output. Now contrast that with a systems architect. A systems architect doesn't fixate on the destination. They build a track. They lay behavioral rail lines that move them forward automatically, whether they feel motivated or not, whether they're inspired or empty, whether it's Monday or Saturday. The goal chaser asks, "What do I want to achieve?" The systems architect asks, "What type of person do I want to become? And what is the minimum daily proof of that identity?" This is the cognitive pivot that separates this book from every self-help book you've skimmed and forgotten. Clear argues that behavior change has 3 layers. The outermost layer is outcomes, what you get. The middle layer is processes, what you do. The core layer is identity, what you believe about yourself. Most people start from the outside and work in. I want to lose 20 pounds, so I'll start running. That's an outcome trying to force a process. Systems architects start from the core and work out. I am a person who moves their body daily. Now, running isn't a chore strapped to a goal. It's evidence of who you already are. Every rep, every mile, every push-up becomes a vote cast for your new identity. And when enough votes accumulate, the election is over. You don't have to convince yourself anymore. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Now let's get into the engineering. Clear identifies what he calls the 4 laws of behavior change. These aren't suggestions. They're mechanical levers. Pull them correctly, habits form. Ignore them, habits die. It's physics, not philosophy. Every habit follows a 4-step loop. Cue, craving, response, reward. Clear maps 1 law to each step. Law 1. Make it obvious. Your environment is not a backdrop. It's the single strongest predictor of your behavior. Research from the University of Southern California shows that approximately 43% of daily actions are performed habitually, without conscious decision. You don't choose most of what you do. Your surroundings choose for you. So design the surroundings. Want to read more? Put the book on your pillow, not your shelf. Want to eat better? Put fruit on the counter and hide the chips in the garage. The cue must be so visible that ignoring it takes more effort than following it. Clear introduces a specific tool here, the habit scorecard. You write down every single thing you do from the moment you wake up. Then you mark each one with a plus, minus, or equals sign. Positive, negative, or neutral. Most people have never once inventoried their daily behavior. They're running a business without ever looking at the balance sheet. Law 2. Make it attractive. This is where Clear introduces temptation bundling. You pair an action you need to do with an action you want to do. You want to watch Netflix? You can, but only while on the stationary bike. You want to check social media? You can, but only after you've written 200 words. You're not fighting dopamine. You're redirecting it. You're making the habit neurochemically profitable. Law 3. Make it easy. This is the most counterintuitive law. Clear argues you should optimize for repetitions, not duration. A habit that takes 2 minutes and gets performed daily beats a habit that takes 60 minutes and gets performed twice a month. He calls this the 2-minute rule. Any new habit must be compressible to 2 minutes or less. Read 30 books this year becomes read 1 page before bed. Run a marathon becomes put on my running shoes. The entry cost must be so low that saying no feels ridiculous. Law 4. Make it satisfying. The human brain prioritizes immediate rewards over delayed ones. This is not a character flaw, it's firmware. So you need to engineer immediate satisfaction into behaviors that only pay off long-term. A habit tracker, a simple visual streak, does this. Every X on the calendar is a micro-reward. Clear's rule: never break the chain twice. Miss once, you're human. Miss twice, you're forming a new habit. The habit of not showing up. 4 laws, 4 levers, no guesswork. You now understand the system. You understand the 4 laws. You probably even feel a small surge of clarity right now. And that feeling is the trap. Here's what actually happens. You finish this video. You feel informed. You open your phone. A notification pulls you sideways. By tomorrow morning, 90% of what you just absorbed is neurologically overwritten by the noise of your default environment. This is what I call the noise cost, the tax your environment charges on every insight you fail to act on within 48 hours. Then there's the repetition trap. You've heard habit advice before. You've probably read summaries, articles, watched other videos. Your brain registers familiarity and codes it as mastery. I already know this. No, you don't know it. You've merely recognized it. Knowing is behavioral. If your daily system hasn't changed, you know nothing. You're a librarian who's never read the books. And finally, scarcity mindset. You believe you don't have time. You believe you need a perfect morning to start a habit. You believe conditions must be ideal. This is the same logic that keeps people from investing $50 a month, because it won't make a difference. It makes all the difference. 1% daily, 37 times in a year. The math doesn't care about your feelings. The invisible barrier isn't ignorance. It's the gap between knowing and installing. Most people never cross that gap, not because it's wide, because it's boring. And boring doesn't trigger dopamine. So they go find another video instead. Don't be that person. 4 actions. This week, no excuses, no prerequisites, no budget required. Step 1. The behavior audit. What to do. Open your phone's Notes app right now. Tomorrow morning, from the moment you wake up, log every action you take for the first 2 hours. Brushed teeth, checked Instagram, made coffee, scrolled news, sat in car for 3 minutes doing nothing. Then mark each with a plus, minus, or equals sign. Time commitment, 10 minutes of logging, 5 minutes of review. Why it works. You cannot optimize a system you haven't measured. This is Clear's habit scorecard in practice, and it exposes the invisible behaviors consuming your best hours. Step 2. The 2-minute install. What to do. Choose one habit you've been failing to start. Compress it to a 2-minute version. Write it on a sticky note with the format. After, current habit, I will, 2-minute habit. Example, after I pour my morning coffee, I will open my journal and write 1 sentence. Stick it where the current habit happens. Method, physical sticky note, not a digital reminder. Tactile cues outperform notifications by a significant margin because they alter your physical environment. Why it works. It eliminates the decision cost and links new behavior to existing neural pathways. Clear calls this habit stacking, and it is the lowest friction on-ramp to behavior change that exists. Step 3. The Streak Tracker. What to do. Download the app Streaks on iOS or Loop Habit Tracker on Android. Both are free or under $3. Add only your single 2-minute habit. Every day you complete it, check it off. Your only rule, never miss twice in a row. Time commitment, 5 seconds per day to log. Why it works. Visual progress creates an immediate reward loop for behaviors that otherwise only pay off in months, converting long-term investment into daily dopamine. Step 4. The environment edit. What to do. Spend 15 minutes this Sunday redesigning one physical space in your home to make your desired habit obvious and your undesired habit invisible. Want to read instead of scrolling? Put your phone charger in another room and put the book on your nightstand. Want to work out in the morning? Sleep in your gym clothes. Lay the yoga mat in the middle of the floor the night before. Make the default path lead to the behavior you want. Why it works. Willpower is a depletable resource with a daily budget. Environment design replaces willpower with architecture, and architecture doesn't get tired at 9 p.m. 4 steps, $0. Under 30 minutes of total setup. The cost of not doing this is another year of identical results. Here's the final idea, and it might be the most important thing in this entire video. James Clear writes that every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. Not a declaration, not a wish, a vote. And no single vote is decisive. No single workout transforms your body. No single page makes you wise. No single saved dollar makes you wealthy. But elections aren't won by a single vote either. They're won by a pattern of votes so consistent that the outcome becomes inevitable. Most people are casting votes for a person they don't want to be. Not dramatically, not through catastrophic failure, through tiny, invisible defaults. The snooze button, the scroll, the skipped session, the I'll start Monday. Each one a vote, each one counted. The question this book leaves you with isn't, what goals should I set? It's far more precise and far more uncomfortable. What am I voting for today, with my actual behavior, right now, in the next 60 minutes? Your habits are not just things you do. They are a continuous, silent referendum on who you are becoming. And the polls never close. Save this video. Come back to it. Most people will watch this once and return to their buckets.